Welcome back to AniPeeps, the channel where we dive headfirst into the realm of anime, one episode at a time. I'm one of your co-hosts, Boom, and along with me we got one of the boys today. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and children of all ages, get ready to witness the arrival of the unstoppable force, the living legend, the one-man wrecking crew, standing tall, defying the odds, and ready to dominate. B0ggsB1nny, how you feeling?
Oh God. Thank you for the amazing intro as usual. I think it's way over me, but appreciate it. I'm doing great, and as usual, super excited to do this list with you today.
You got big shoes to fill, my friend.
Yeah, that's quite the shoes to fill on my part, which I don't think I can.
And today, once again, we got a little list for you guys. But before that, like always, we do have a meme of the day today. This one's a good one. This one is relatable, I believe, for both of us. Maybe the reason you watch so many anime is because you like to see young people fight for their dreams without giving up. Well, for your own meaningless life, you just went with the flow. Or big anime titty.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, the big part is the bottom part is like a big seller, but I'm also like a big sucker for the top ones.
Yeah.
But
TR.
the bottom one obviously sales. No, not TR. Let's not go there. But yeah, big anime titties always good, unless that's like the only selling point of the show. But let's not kid ourselves here. Sometimes that might be the only reason you watch a certain show, and that's okay.
Yep, absolutely. And today, like I said, we do have a list for you guys. I'm going to give you the topic and a quick picture along with that. Today is going to be the 10 best Tsundere anime characters ranked. And here is the link to that picture. So we do got a little bit of who we might see on the list. Again, this might just be clickbait or just false, right? Trying to trick you. But we are talking about Tsundere's. B0ggs, if you want to quickly give the peeps what Tsundere means.
Yeah. Before we dive in, for those of you who don't know, Tsundere is pretty much like an anime character archetype, I guess you could say, which usually involves like a character with kind of a pokey, spiky surface. They're kind of sharp on the outside, but very soft on the inside. They pretty much harsh. Typically, like the trope goes, where they sometimes violent, but you say the right things and they blush. But yeah, that's I guess textbook Tsundere. I guess the definition, grabbing it off Google to be a bit more specific, but it's a Japanese term for a character development process that depicts a character with an initially harsh personality who gradually reveals a warmer, friendlier side over time. It's personally my favorite character archetype. So yeah, I'm a big fan of Tsundere's. So yeah, I'm pretty excited to see this list. This is one we're just grabbing off CBR, so this is just like a anime fan made their own list of their 5 or 10 best Tsundere anime characters ranked. Also, this picture is kind of interesting to me because when I think Tsundere, is just automatically, just because of like romance and harem shows I watch, I just tend to just immediately think of like female women characters. So just seeing this, perhaps we might get some
male ones,
male characters on this list. I could think of one just off the top of my head that might be on this list. Of course, right here we have Edward from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We'll see if his on the list, but yeah,
which is not
after this list. Yeah, maybe like you said, this is a clickbait, and none of these three will be on it. After this list, maybe we could share who we thought would be on, or who we considered to be kind of
some more
favorites. Classic Tsundere / our favorites, and yeah, excited to jump into this.
When you're describing Tsundere, dude, all I could think about is I was gonna say it, but I forgot what they're called. But the Werther's caramel-filled candies, hard on the outside, soft on the inside.
Yeah, pretty much. Like a that with like spikes on the end.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes, depending on the tsundere character, they could be kind of violent. But
Absolutely.
yeah.
And we're gonna get right into it. Number 10. I took a peek at this one. We haven't seen the rest of the list, but I took a peek at this one. I like this one. I think it's funny. That's why I choose the list. We got Damien,
Okay. So yeah, we start off with the male character.
which is nice because you don't really think of male characters, and this one kind of describes it. He's kind of he's a meanie to Anya, but then he gets all soft,
Yeah,
blushing.
like yeah,
Peep,
this is textbook tsundere actually.
and Peep, Barjan's favorite character. You can see his hair in the
One
background.
of his
Damien's
goons.
boys,
One
one
of
of the
his
goons.
goons. Yeah, and like this is like one of the big reasons why I like tsundere is it's just like really heartwarming to me when I see them like blush like this, regardless of who the tsundere is, because like Damian is like very harsh to Anya, and Anya does like some little thing that kind of touches him in a certain way, and he just blushes, and then obviously his tsundere side comes out, and his like he'll say something like "not like I care about you" or anything like that, and just walks away. But yeah, interesting choice. He certainly fits the definition of tsundere, and not something that like came to my mind when I think of it, but yeah, certainly fits.
Yep, and then like you said, like I really like Damian too because at the beginning I hated him, but as he became nicer and nicer, he just became a way better character
Yeah,
too.
yeah. And
Uh,
he has big shoes to fill, like he's under a lot of stress and stuff like that.
mm-hmm.
But it is kind of cute seeing like him and Anya's like you know some interactions, like Damian kind of being nice to Anya when Anya needs it, kind of thing, and Anya obviously kind of wanting Damian not to manipulate him, but he is a big part of her puzzle because for Lloyd's purpose of his mission.
It's
But yeah,
important.
and Anya's so dumb too. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
because they're
good
kids.
dynamic. Yeah,
But it's cool, and I'm glad he made the list. I never thought of him as this type of character,
yeah.
but that's cool. It makes me excited for the rest of the list. We'll go on right into number 9 here. Again, this is from Spy Family, Damian. Number 9 is we were talking about this before airing. Nino
Nino,
from Quintessential Quintuplets.
one of the best of the five. I'm sure you would agree.
Top 2 out of the 5.
Yep, agreed. Yeah, Nino. Yeah, she's amazing. First season I wasn't a big fan,
I was
like
about to
many,
say
and then
that, man.
season 2 is just like,
She took over season
boy,
2.
what a comeback! Like she was a spotlight of season 2. Even like the OVAs, she being like the tsundere character, especially in something like quintessential quintuplets, where you know there's multiple romantic interests because it's like a harem series, and with Nino being one that kind of jumps the gun to being like the character to first admit that she likes Futaro, kind of uh kind of forcing the rest of the female characters to like kind of pressure them to kind of also pursue him, like they don't want to be left behind. They don't want Nino to kind of swoop him for them. Like she played a big role. I love her character so much. Like her and like I was always a Miku fan, but Nino's like very close. Like you asked me on a different day, I think Nino could be number one.
Yeah, I mean, the show's amazing. She's amazing. I like how you did mention she was like one of the first ones, or the first one to say she likes
Hmm.
Futaro, man. If you watch first season, you'd be like, nah, she's the last one, right? But
Yeah,
her season 2, I'm glad you highlighted that. Absolutely, I love her character design too, like the little
yeah,
I don't know,
that
bows, I guess you'd
butterfly.
say.
Yeah,
Yeah. She's one of my
her
favorites. I
voice is
mean,
great too. Yeah.
like,
Honestly, maybe a rewatch might put her on number one. Who knows,
it
man?
hits harder because she's Tsundere. I guess because she was harder in the beginning, and then you see her like I wouldn't say
Yeah,
develop, but you see her true side, right?
yeah. Especially with like like tsundere characters, there's like a big step for them to finally admit, especially given their like tsundere nature,
Mm-hmm.
given like for them to kind of admit to themselves, especially when it's like a romance series, for them to admit that they actually have feelings for like the male or female character, and then once that switch is flipped, then they're typically the ones who are a bit more aggressive in pursuing like their romantic interests, and I think like Nino's character did that perfectly.
Yeah, and I did like the like. Remember when she was she fell in love with I think who thought was like fake cousin, the Yankee looking one.
Yeah, yeah,
I like that. Like the whole season two was it was all Nina. She carried for sure.
yeah.
If you haven't watched that show, please watch it. And she's one of the main reasons why.
Agreed, agreed.
Happy that she's on the list. I would have placed her higher if I made a list, I guess. But
Yeah,
you see,
personal list, maybe. Yeah.
best girl right there. But
Man, good man.
again, the show's quintessential quintuplets. I hate that title, man. It's so tricky, man. Okay. So one of the three that was on the I guess you can call it thumbnail or picture of the list, right?
Yeah,
We got Nobara from Jujutsu Kaisen. I know you haven't got the chance to watch it yet, Boggs. Probably on your watch list, but
yeah.
I do not want to spoil unless you have gotten spoiled already. But the
You
last
you could go into a little bit. Yeah, I don't mind.
this one's a big one, so I'm not going to. But I'll just say the latest season, season 3, season 2, whatever. The latest one. If you know what happens, and it makes her character so much better because you see you see a little bit of backstory about her, and then you see that she's not just a hard ass. She cares about her team, and she cares about and you see why she wants to be I forgot what it's called, like kaisen, or like she wants to be like I forgot, what is it called?
Pretty much like that's a big theme of like tsunderes where
Like you see a
you know
reason why, like she wants to do
yeah,
what she does, right?
yeah.
Which is
And
insane.
once that happens, kind of like earlier with the Nino like switch, like the tsundere redemption arc really goes strong. So I'm
Yeah.
sure maybe it's the case with her too, but yeah. I mean, I'm sure if I watched JJK, I'd be a big fan of her,
I think you would.
probably.
I think there's really two Tunderes in this show, but we just don't see. What's a Tsundere that's just mean? What is that called? Just a mean character? Just a Tsun?
Yeah,
I just split the words.
yeah, yeah. It's just like the tune side of the dairy,
Yeah, like there's maybe upcoming
or we just call them worse, or they're worse girls, and
yeah,
they're
like
just
in the
mean.
future maybe we'll see the other character I'm thinking of, glasses chick, forgot her name. She become more of a Tsundere too. Um,
Maybe the dairy side will come out over time.
yeah, but again, I love the show. Recommend watching it, and she's a big reason why. I'd say she's my top 2, top 3 favorite characters in the show. So glad she made it on the
Nice,
list.
nice.
But yeah, again, this shows she's from Jujutsu Kaisen. If you don't know, now you know. But yeah, number 7 again, something on the list. Kind of wish Mo was here.
Yeah.
Or maybe not. It's not in his top 10. But Edward from what is it? Full Metal Alchemist and Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Would Mo be happy?
Yeah. Shouts out to Mo. Unfortunately, I won't be able to talk much about him, given I haven't seen it. But
I do love the opening. Does that not help?
good for Elric.
Um,
Elric.
I'm glad another male made it on the list though.
Hmm.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, we've had two females and two male. Or
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Yep.
If there's one more male, if it is who I think it is, yeah, I think we'll have a good time talking about him.
Well, I'm thinking of one too because I thought I wanted to say afterwards. I'm curious to see if it's the one
We'll
I'm
see.
thinking
We'll
of.
see.
But yeah, again, I can't speak much about Edward. I know the show's good. I haven't got a chance to watch it. We'll definitely watch it. But yeah, glad another male made it onto the list. And this is Edward again from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist. Again, shout out Mo. Oh, okay. Another boy here. This is one. Was this the one you're thinking of?
No.
This is
Was
one.
it yours?
No, it was not. But that's cool that he's actually on here. One of my favorite characters from Demon Slayer, personally. You've watched season one, right? Demon Slayer.
Yeah, I mean, like, I could see it, but I don't know if I would call him like Tsundere really. Like, I feel like he's more of like a naturally amped up kind of like cracked out guy, and then he has his like mellow moments. I mean, like I definitely see why you could categorize him as Tsundere, but
Yeah.
I mean certainly not top 10 by any means.
Yeah.
Um,
I agree with you. I don't classify him as Tsundere. I guess he was mean in the beginning, or maybe we just didn't know about him. That's why.
yeah, yeah,
But
it's a interesting pick for the list, at least in my opinion.
for this Tsundere list, yes, but I do like him as a Demon Slayer character for sure.
Certainly better than the other guy in the trio. I will not name.
Zenitsu.
He is yellow.
Maybe
Uh,
maybe they put Inosuke on the list just because when he took off his forehead, he was a cute looking dude. Maybe that's why.
yeah,
Handsome.
good looking Bishonen. Yeah.
Maybe that's why. But love the character. Questionable on the list. You said right, Box.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, definitely like Tsundere aspects of it. Like the caption mentions, like he likes it when Tsundere praises him, and yeah. But I mean, on a top 10 list, personally speaking, no.
And maybe we
It
look
is what
back
it is,
on it.
though.
In this list at the end, maybe the person was trying to get 5 males, 5 females, and the males are hard to
Yeah,
come by, right? So maybe you just had to
true, true.
justify some. But yeah, using the Tsundere archetype to shape their overall behavior is what they said in the reasoning for it.
Says love interest slash best friend Tanjiro. Amazing.
He's a funny character. That's why I love him
Yeah.
too.
Oh yeah.
Even like, have you watched Mugen Densha?
Yeah, I have.
His dream was the train was a centipede, right?
Yeah.
And then you know how it actually was a demon. He kept saying, "I was right. I was right."
Yeah,
was
yeah.
weak,
Like he
man.
sensed it early on.
Yeah, he's such a funny guy. Again, this is from Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba. Number 5. Again, we're going all three. No, sorry. Besides Inosuke, we went both the characters from the thumbnail picture. So this is the last of it. Nami, one of my favorites for sure, man.
Yeah.
Ah,
She's definitely hard to argue against in regards to One Piece. I I wouldn't say she's my favorite, but there's very little to hate about her, right?
I would say
Like
top 5, maybe top 3 at One Piece girls, man.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And when you kind of realize Nami's backstory and why the tune of her tsundere comes out, have she's had like a pretty traumatizing past and kind of being like a having to live alone or kind of survive on her own on obviously like she has to be kind of skeptical and conniving and tricky and all that, but yeah, I mean once you realize why she is how she is, and aside from kind of the harsh exterior as you would have it for tsunderes as like a crewmate and stuff, she's just an amazing crewmate for sure.
Yeah, like you said, she had to make like a shell to protect herself because of her past
Mhm.
traumas and stuff like that. And then, especially Arlong Park, that arc, amazing how it ended too. You've
Yeah.
just seen how like I know. I think you said is one of your favorite scenes too. I'm a fan of it, but not the biggest fan. Like it's not top 5 epic moments, but when Luffy puts the hat on her, it's a
Oh
cool
yeah,
moment.
I love that moment, man.
Yeah.
And like, given Nami's nature, she's a pretty greedy gal. Like she, especially with her backstory with wanting to save as much as she can because of like the Arlong Park arc way back in the day. Like she has her kind of those kind of moments, but how far the story is in right now, like Nami would never kind of like betray her team or anything like that, and
Mm-hmm.
she's much more or less tsundere now. I feel like
Because they broke
she's
out of the
just
shell, you know.
yeah, yeah. she's much more like loose and comfortable around the crewmates. And
Hmm.
I mean, she obviously she is definitely still harsh, but I feel like not in kind of the, I guess maybe Tsundere kind of hiding her true feelings fashion. But yeah, Nami regardless, great character. I think pretty deserving on the list at
Yes,
least.
sir. Still Team Boa though for sure.
We love Boa.
That we do, and if you didn't know, now you know. One Piece Nami, obviously well known, but okay. Ah,
Oh,
I've watched Bleach, Lukia. I'm up in the air about this one, man. Oh, why does she look so
questionable,
OP in this one, man?
questionable pick or
um, I was never a big fan of Lukia, so maybe my bias is more towards that than her being a tsundere, I guess. No,
okay.
I wouldn't. She wasn't really like in the very beginning. It was kind of like Inosuke. Just because you don't know her, she was kind of like
Yeah,
I wouldn't
I mean,
classify. Would you? I don't.
m-
I wouldn't. Maybe because I just don't like her as a character. I'm saying this, but I wouldn't classify her as a tsundere, dude.
maybe we're just filling the big three spots, and third place will be Sakura or something like that.
I
The
swear.
big three.
I mean, we can
As
look at the reasoning. I
in
guess
some ways, yeah, yeah, Kudere, and she shows that side when she gets along with everyone and
I
isn't
guess
provoked.
for this one, she keeps like a secret, and
Hmm.
she keeps it to herself. I don't know if that would be tsundere, but
Yeah, maybe that's why they considered it. It says the three of them often yell and butt heads, but deep down they do anything for each other. So I
but
guess like
that's like a
Tsundere in
yeah.
much more
So beast this picture though.
yeah, that picture's pretty gold.
They picked
But yeah, I
tsundere
mean, I
just for
haven't
that
seen
picture.
Bleach, so I can't say much to it, but
Hmm.
um I could think of much more
I say
I guess iconic Tsunderes that should be in this list
I say
over here.
questionable, especially for number four. I'll definitely
Yeah.
say that. Put Dummy on number four at this point. But yeah,
All right,
on
moving
to
on.
number three. That was Rukia from Bleach once again. Now you know. Number three. Uh
Best girl in Oshinoko
oh.
by
No, this
far.
is Kana.
Again, best girl.
Memo-chan is not on the list, big dog.
Best girl out of a catalog of a whole bunch of other great girls. Yeah, I mean
Yeah, I mean this
Kana
show
is
is
like
that's a
textbook
big
Tsundere.
accusation you're saying right there, big dog. This show,
Yeah,
best girl
I'll die on that hill, man. I've been Kana fan day one.
since the Pimon
Uh,
days. Am I going way back?
way back, man, since the Pimon dance days. But yeah, I think both of us can agree. Tsundere, great Tsundere. Um, and you know, with Oshinoko, with having kind of like a romance side of it, mainly between, at least at the moment, Kana and Akane. You know, that even kind of that love triangle thing definitely brings the tsundere side out of Kana. And yeah, Kana's super cute when things go her way, and you know she thinks uh her like she's looking good in Aqua's eyes. But yeah, I think
Baseball
Kana's a
scene.
great pick. Yeah, yeah, like the baseball scene, like you mentioned, and like she's just such a nice girl too. Once you kind of get to know her, and then yeah, perfect time for that uh jiggy dance. But yeah,
She's just gliding.
I mean,
What is she doing?
you think she deserves top three? I mean, I don't think I'd put
Nah,
her in like
no, I
top
would,
three,
I would,
but I think yeah, she's a great tsundere for sure. Great character,
I like her.
and yeah, and
I mean,
like just being a tsundere, it is super rewarding when those scenes happen. Like
yeah,
example from season one, uh, you know, when Aqua was having the Pieon's like um
the Muscle
bird
Man.
mask,
Yep.
yeah, the muscle man mask, and she kind of goes downstairs and turns out it was actually Aqua, and you know, she's kind of startled by it. She couldn't sleep before her kind of performance event kind of thing. Like that, I think that's why I love Tsunderes. Like I think Kana is a great example of why I love the Tsundere archetype, and
Mm.
yeah, I think Kana definitely makes Oshinoko a very worthwhile watch for me.
And
Just cheering her on. Hopefully she wins.
I know I was joking around when you said best girl, but it's just, why? Because there's so many best girls in this show, man.
Yeah,
For
yeah,
real, she's up there as well. But I just like the again, it's hard for Oshinoko, but I like Memo-chan just because of the way she looks. But we'll talk about that some other
yeah.
time for sure. She does deserve to be on the list. Top three, I agree with for sure. Maybe the list gets a little bit better from here on out, though, huh?
Especially like some of like a good chunk of the lists have been pretty
Shonen.
recent series aside from like One Piece and Bleach.
Mm-hmm.
So out of like shows that have more recently came out, like I would definitely put Kana up there for sure.
Nice. Love the design. Love Kana. On to the top two. Are you ready for a box?
Yes, sir.
Again,
If we get one more
if
male
you don't know, now you
protagonist here.
know. Kana's from Oshinoko.
Okay, yeah. Kyo is definitely one of who I think of when I think of like male
Was this the person you're
tsunderes.
talking about too?
No, no, no. I mean, I doubt it's gonna be first place. So I'll just mention it now. I like it's kind of a as a joke, but I was thinking like Vegeta.
I was gonna say Vegeta. I
Yeah,
swear I was gonna
yeah,
say Vegeta.
yeah. Like with him and Goku, obviously.
Because
But
I was gonna say when we mentioned that, I was gonna say, are you referring to the Prince Saiyan as a joke?
yeah, yeah. No, Vegeta for sure is the one I was thinking of as well. But yeah, Kyo from Fruits Basket. He's a I think textbook male tsundere and great character, especially with him kind of feeling kind of inferior to the other zodiacs. For those of you who have seen the show, with his kind of like inferiority complex, but his tsundere side really comes strong with him and Toru, and that just really builds on the kind of dynamic between him and Toru and really makes Fruits Basket such a great series. I think like him and I wouldn't say him and Toru necessarily like carry the plot, but they definitely do a big part of making the show the great show that it is. And yeah, excellent character, and I feel like he was the only one that was great for Toru. I'm sorry to those who shipped Toru and Yuki, but yeah,
Definitely a series I gotta check out for sure.
yeah, iconic series, iconic characters, and yeah, definitely deserving of the spot.
Nice. And this is Kyo, I believe, from Fruits Basket. Basket. Excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah. And after looking at the list, if I were to make like a male protagonist tsundere list, I probably would have him like really high up there. So
Vegeta,
I
right?
think
Or are you talking about?
yeah, him and Vegeta, top three for sure. So.
And before we get to number one, I have a question, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just looking at my profile picture. Would you count Musashi as a tsundere? Low key hard shell, literally.
Mm, I wouldn't just because like he's more of like early on, like when he was
Yeah,
younger, he's more like a angsty teen. I feel like rather
yeah.
than like a tsundere, but
This one, I was just looking at my profile picture.
yeah.
Wait a minute. Just
See
questioning.
number one.
Number one, we do have. Oh, did not expect this. Guts understands Casca
uh,
scars and love for her.
yeah, I
What's your
mean
thoughts on this?
number one, no, but like
It's hard to
like
take
the
the bias
scene,
off though, because I think we both love Guts. We gotta remember
yeah,
this list is Tsundere list.
yeah, like I mean, Guts almost kind of fits what I was describing earlier with Musashi. I wouldn't say his tsundere really like he's almost like when I was describing Nami, his life circumstances made him
Build up a
kind of
shell, right?
close, yeah, build up a shell around him. It's not I mean, I guess you could say it fits in the definitions, but at least when I think of tsundere, it's more so they have the shell to hide their true emotions towards typically their romantic interests, like Kana. Like she doesn't, she acts harsh to Aqua because she doesn't want Aqua to know her true feelings about him.
Yeah.
Um,
And then if you look at what it says, like Guts understands Casca, but like he's not hiding it for Asuka. You know what I mean? He's just hiding it because of his
yeah,
tragic backstory. Similar to Nami
yeah.
almost, right?
But I guess to this, whoever made this list point, I kind of do understand where they're coming from, and I'm glad they mentioned this scene because that scene's probably one of my favorites from Berserk, where him and Casca kind of uh, understand each other, and they really, really connect. When they're kind of laying naked by the tree and kind of lick each other's scar kind of thing. But yeah, Guts is tsundere. I don't think so. As much as I love Guts, I I don't know. I don't know. How do you feel about it?
I got
Because I'm like,
two things, right? I love Guts. I'm happy he made any list. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But if we're talking about Tsundere, I agree with everything you said. It's weird depending on how you're making the list, right? Because he I feel like he shut up emotions, more so towards what happened in his backstory, like you mentioned, rather than like for like Kana, like you said, like for somebody else. Do you know what I mean?
uh,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's tricky. It's tricky. But I'm just happy Guts made a list. You know what I mean? I can never get
yeah.
mad
That's
at
true.
that. I can't make
Yeah,
one of my favorite mangas, so I can't get mad at that.
it's just
It's
like an
tricky. It's
interesting
tricky.
choice. I
Yeah.
do like how whoever created this list kind of maybe like because if I made this list, honestly, there'd probably be just like textbook. I guess we'll talk about it after this, but probably have like textbook kind of definition of like tsundere. So I do really appreciate how they kind of went outside the box with their decision making. But I mean, I wouldn't put Guts on it. I love the scene. I love Guts, obviously, but I guess it also depends on how you define tsundere. Again, when I think about it, it's typically has to do with more romance kind of situations and them kind of masking like they're hard on the exterior so that they don't blush kind of thing, like
Yeah.
that's what I think of in tsundere. But I mean, like, to each their own. I understand why you could kind of squeeze Guts into that definition, but yeah.
And then now that we have great list, by the way, again we might disagree with stuff like that, but overall good list. Box, do you have any tsunderes that you want to mention that maybe didn't make the list but would make your list?
I mean, again, when I was like mentioning Guts, there's obviously like that's also why I appreciate, like, I didn't see any like big, like, when you think of tsunderes, you think of like many characters, and you really didn't see it. Like Kurisu from Steins Gate, Asuka from Ava, you know, uh cough cough Vegeta we talked a little bit about,
Yeah.
Mikoto from Railgun, Taiga from Toradora, Haruhi from Haruhi. But if I'm talking kind of my favorite tsunderes, yeah, if I'm talking like if this is a personal list of like my favorites instead of like the best tsunderes,
Mm-hmm.
there's like a slight difference between the two. Um, yeah, for my kind of off the top of my head, I'd go Kaguya from Kaguya-sama Love is War. I do Senjo from the Monogatari series, and I mean, I also would put Taiga in there, but I mean, if you're talking tsunderes, like, it's hard not to mention Rin from uh, the Fate universe. Like, she's like textbook perfect tsundere in my books. But yeah, I think those would be like off the top of my head top 3.
Yeah.
But again, like it's a pretty basic list too, though. Like if I made this list and someone was reviewing, like going over it, like we are with this person, I'm sure the person going through the list would be kind of bored. Like, okay, like, oh, you got Rin, you got Taiga, you got Senjo, um, but yeah, I got
Mhm.
my reasons for the list, obviously, with my love for the series, and I think like Rin's a great tsundere, like perfect for like a definition of tsundere. I think Senjo has like tsundere elements, but she's like so much more. And Kaguya, I just love Kaguya, and she's a tsundere, so she makes my list.
Would you be mad if I said Chica? I even like the I'm so bad with names, but like the Kaguya's like the I think
Miko,
same, huh? Mio?
Miko,
Yeah, I like
Miko.
her as well too, right? I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
I like her, and Nino was mentioned on the list, but I love Nino. Um, but also Nagatoro-san from was
oh yeah, Nagatoro,
I
and
really
even
like her
Kaguya,
as
like
well.
Maki, Kaguya's like cousin or niece. Like she is super tsundere too. But yeah, so you
Hmm.
said Nagatoro, Nino, and what was the other one?
Uh, from Kaguya-sama. The
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, Miko.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I can't even think. It's just top off my head too. I bet there's plenty more if I just think back
yeah,
to it
no,
too as well. It just
yeah, yeah. There's
and then
so much, especially like,
I feel like you can
especially when
justify
you're
it too.
watching. Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
you could justify.
any character, like if you really wanted to, you can just this person was mean for this much. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I do like
I,
Vegeta too. He's one of my favorite Dragon Ball Z
yeah,
characters and just the OG for real.
yeah, and that's another thing. Like, I just have a soft spot for tsundere, so like, especially
Hmm.
when it comes to like harem series. Um, I guess maybe not because we were talking about Quince and um, I do like Miku, but I just have a soft spot. Like in any show we're discussing, if the tsundere is like not terribly written, I'm a fan. Like if they don't fumble hard, you give me a tsundere and I'm just eating it up. So
Yeah, I even like. I just want to mention this because one of my favorites too. Lucy from Cyberpunk. I would classify as tsundere too, right? She was kind of.
yeah, she's more on the colder side, you
Mm,
know, but yeah, I definitely do see that reasoning.
but yeah. Again, great list. I had fun going over with Boggs, and hopefully you did too, Boggs. But anything else you want to say before we peace out once again?
No, if you guys have a favorite tsundere that we unfortunately did not even mention, then feel free to kind of post your favorite tsunderes in the comment. I'm sure we were a fan, we just didn't mention it, but yeah, aside from that, I have nothing else.
Yep. Thank you for listening and stay frosty.
All right, see ya. Boom. Thanks for having me.